What's going on, everybody? This is Poppa Cooldown with PoppaCooldown.com, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about what it's like having your Switch stolen and trying to recover from it. Let's get started. So about 3 months ago, I took my Nintendo Switch to work because I knew that during lunch I was going to be by myself. I figured I'd eat and spend a few minutes playing whatever game I wanted to play. And then I was also planning on going to a friend's house afterwards, and so having my Switch available to play while I'm there would be awesome too. I get to show off the Switch and what it can do. And lunchtime rolls around. I go to a restaurant to pick up food for me and my coworkers, and it's not in the best area. And when I go, the only thing that is on my mind are the orders of the food and trying to keep the money organized. I have my backpack in the car, and unfortunately I leave my company vehicle doors unlocked. So I get back, I see that my backpack is now open, but there's no Switch inside. I check immediately as soon as I realized the doors were left unlocked. And it turns out the person who stole it only took the Switch. As soon as they saw it, they snagged it. And it wasn't just the Switch in there. It was my power adapter, a USB-C cable, microfiber cloth that was a special Hearthstone one that I got from BlizzCon. A 128GB micro SD card was in the Switch. I had Zelda, Mario Kart, and 1-2 Switch all in the case. And the case itself was a Sheikah Slate case from the limited edition, Zelda bundle that you could get. And I would say overall between $500 to $600 worth of stuff. So it was just gone. I call up Nintendo, and there's no way for them to track it. There's no location on it. I know the device doesn't have a GPS. I was wondering if there was like any sort of Wi-Fi locating on it. No go. Pretty much the only thing they can do is remove my Nintendo account from the Switch. And they provided me with the serial number that was associated to the account so I could report it to the police, and if it ever showed up, I could claim it if they ever were able to somehow get a hold of it. So that was incredibly demoralizing. Like, on top of the fact that you just feel violated. So the three things that bothered me the most was how much money I lost, because $500 to $600 worth of stuff is a lot to just suddenly go missing. That sucks. And then the fact that at that time, around May, the Nintendo Switch was so hard to find. I knew that because of stock shortages and everything, getting this thing was going to be impossible. So there was that. And then the biggest, most demoralizing thing was my progress in Shovel Knight, which is a very hard game, and most importantly, Zelda. Because for some reason, cloud saves are not a thing on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know why, but I lost those saves. It was 120 hours worth of progress. So I've got time lost, money lost, sentimental and personal value from the fact that it was a Sheikah Slate limited edition case. My Hearthstone microfiber cloth was in there. It was an overall blow to my morale. And honestly, I was considering just not getting another one. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with Nintendo. It's not their fault or anything like that, but I can't start over. I can't justify spending the money on this. I got a big trip coming up. I'm saving up for that. I want to go to New York soon, so I'm just going to save my money for that, and I'll deal with the fact that I didn't have a Switch. Tell my wife about it. She's furious at the person who stole it. A little bit mad at me for not locking my doors, but mostly just feeling bad for me. And she was like, let's just get you another one. Let's just buy you another one. I know how important it is to you. And I was so excited because it was like, wow, that's how much my wife cares about me, that she's willing to be like, you know what, I know it's a lot of money, but it's worth it. So it kind of reinvigorated me, and I began the hunt. Now, this took me about 7 days of consistent searching. And I wanted specifically the neon color, the neon Joy-Cons. I had the gray ones before, and they were okay, and so I wanted the neon ones for a change of pace this time. I went every day to stores that were reporting that the Switch was in stock, specifically Target, Walmart, and Best Buy. They have stock checkers online, but the problem is a lot of these stock checking websites and stuff would be checking stock, and either they'd be sold out by the time I got there because other people are doing the same thing, or the stock would refresh a day late and they were actually reflecting stock that they had the previous day and hadn't been refreshed for the day I was there. So the Nintendo Switch was really hard to come by, and the only way I was able to get one was through one of those GameStop bundles. Now I bought a Mario Kart bundle. For the most part, it had what I wanted in it. It had a good case, it had Mario Kart, had the Switch and Neon, and the only thing I didn't want, which was another like 15 bucks or whatever, was the wheels. The wheel Joy-Con thing that you put Joy-Cons into and you can turn in Mario Kart. Those were a waste of money, but it was only 15 bucks. And to me, it was better to give my money to GameStop and keep them in business than to pay these damn scalpers. So I bought one. The wheels are still up in my closet, still packaged brand new. And the case was actually the wrong one that they shipped to me. So I was able to trade that in at my local GameStop. And they were like, look, we know this is an error and everything. So we're going to give you this case. And they gave me a Mario one that was almost identical to my Sheikah Slate one. So that made me feel a lot better. So since then, ARMS has come out. I got the yellow Joy-Cons. I've been playing through Zelda again. Almost caught up again. Mario Kart, I've played more than ever because all of my coworkers have one. All my coworkers have a Switch, and we all play that together. And Splatoon 2 is crazy fun. So the Nintendo Switch was absolutely worth rebuying. I don't know if I'd buy a third one. I might actually buy a third one if I ever lost it. But believe me, I'm incredibly careful with the one I have now. And my doors never go unlocked, and I'm gonna see if I can add like a keypad to my backpack or something, tie that thing down whenever I'm not near it. But those are some things that I wish that Nintendo would address, like cloud saves would be cool, some way to lock the device remotely if it ever came online again, if it attached to a Wi-Fi network, like just to be able to lock that device and make it either useless or pop up a warning saying return this to the police immediately, this is a stolen device, just something that Nintendo could remotely activate. And then please Nintendo, come up with some sort of backup for your saves. They can't just be stored locally on the Switch because, damn it, that was a lot of progress lost. So I'm buying a lot more games digital because if I were to ever lose those games or they were stolen from me because I misplaced a game or something, they're kind of easy to lose if you're trying to carry them all around with you. So I'm buying digital, which means I need to buy a big micro SD card. Since I lost my 128 gigabyte, I'm now using my 64 one, and I'm waiting on a good, decent deal on a 256. There's no real lesson here or anything. I just wanted to share my experience and what it was like to lose my Switch. You know, when you get anything stolen from you, it's so violating. You feel so vulnerable, and it just feels gross. For a long time, I wouldn't go back to the restaurant where it was stolen, even though it had nothing to do with the staff or the food there, because it was an experience that I associated with that place that I just didn't like. And I eventually got over it because that food is really good and the people there are really nice. But all I have to say is I'm glad I have another Nintendo Switch. I'm glad I reinvested. Nintendo got 2 sales worth of stuff out of me. 2 Zeldas, 2 Mario Karts, 2 Switches. But I don't regret any of it. So let me know in the comments below, what's the most, I guess, impactful thing that's ever been stolen from you? I mean, like the thing that when it was taken from you made you the most mad or the most sad. Let me know in the comments below. And what did you do to get it back? Did you just leave it and let it be? Did you try and hunt it down? Did you report it to the police? Just some interesting stories I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thanks for listening. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.